Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, middle/high school, and high school age. Today I am going to be doing a plan with me for homeschool for the week of the 5th, and we are winding down our first 6-week term of the second semester. 6-week session, I don't really know how to refer to that. We have been doing a 6 weeks on, 1 week off schedule this year, and it has been absolutely amazing. However, the 6 weeks tend to go by very quickly for the homeschool portion, which is probably good because by the time we're done or close to being done with our 6 weeks, my house is a disaster. Because essentially what I'm doing is taking those 6 weeks and being all in on homeschool and then taking that week off. And it's not really a vacation for me. It's a time when my kids will work on their passion projects and be completely self-directed. And I essentially do a bunch of deep cleaning in the house and organizing and just getting things cleaned up. Anyways, that is what we have been doing this year, and it has been really lovely. So we don't really have too much going on this week, which is good. Oh goodness, I'm trying to think if I have anything. I know that I have to go to the grocery store on Tuesday, and I have to go to the library. I think I have some books in transit right now that are going to be probably available for pickup soon. So I do color code. This is Emma's color. Lucy, purple is everybody, and then blue is Jack. And that just helps me. I do it across all of my planning. If you've not seen any of my planning videos before, I do share a lot of plan with me's, and typically in my normal planning, my normal weekly or daily planning, I will put things that are family colors with purple, or Emma has, orthodontist appointments. If anybody has appointments, it goes under their particular color. It helps me. Wednesday is our passion project day, and Friday is our screen free day. And I know that that may sound funny to some people. I know there's lots of homeschoolers that do 0 screens all through the week, and we are not one of those families. This screen-free day is essentially a day that I try to also be off screens for school. My 2 older kids are both doing high school level courses, and a lot of that content is done online. And so on Fridays, we try and take a step back from the online content and do more analog learning, is what I call it, a lot of reading. And, maybe instead of watching a lecture for Spanish or chemistry for Emma, she just does the questions on paper. And Jack doesn't do all of his online school. The only thing that we have been doing right along is math. And that's mainly because we took such a large chunk off in December for the holidays that I have just been having them do math 5 days, Algebra 2 and Algebra 1. Let's see here. What are we going to do this week? Emma is reading Cry the Beloved Country. I don't know if she'll finish that this week or not. She might. These books, they are heavy. She is reading a lot of heavy books this year. She just finished Warriors Don't Cry. It was a really hard book for her to get through. She's a very empathetic person, and so sometimes these books are just so overwhelming to get through. She can understand them. She gets all the questions right. We have great discussions about it, but it really weighs heavily on her, which is hard. It's hard to watch that. She's going to be reading this. She's going to be working on her research paper, and we just started this. So she is going to be working on a research paper, steps 1 and 2 this week. And that is essentially just choosing a topic and doing some preliminary research. That is going to be part of her week. I'm not going to put it on Wednesday and Friday because Wednesday, passion project, so she will end up working on her book. She's going through and doing her second draft of her book that she finished. When did she finish writing that? Right at the end of October, she finished her first draft and then took a break for NaNoWriMo and then came back to it in January to start kind of going through and editing. So she is starting to write her second draft of that book. So for history, we are starting this Rise of the Nazis. I guess I could just put the page. I will put modern history. We're also reading this book, How to Ruin Your Life by 30, which is just okay, I think. It's just been okay. It's not my favorite book. I mean, there's definitely some interesting information in here, but it's not my favorite. We've had a lot of great discussion though, so we're going to hopefully finish this in the next couple of weeks. For math, she has teaching textbooks, lesson 80. She's loving math this year, which is really good because last year was definitely a struggle with geometry. And I am already thinking about next year for homeschool, and I don't know what we're going to do. If she is going to continue with pre-calculus, she's really great at math, and she definitely does a great job with math and always has, but she's really not interested in continuing with pre-calculus and would rather do business math or accounting or maybe personal finance or something like that. And so I'm kind of up in the air as to whether I'm going to push her to do pre-calculus. I did pre-calculus in high school. I absolutely hated it. I mean, I think I got a B in the class, and I didn't do math after pre-calculus. I was like, nope, we're done with math. But I don't know if it would be good for her to just continue and take pre-calculus. We're having so many conversations about college and whether or not she wants to take classes at the college, because we can do dual enrollment for free in Maine. If she wants to, you know, what direction she wants to go in, and it's definitely challenging. She's not at a place where she feels like she wants to just go to a 4-year college right now, which is, you know, expected because she's 15. I think I said this in my my last homeschool update, that she only needs one more English credit in order to graduate. That is the only class that she's missing as far as requirements to get into college. She has done all of the lab science, she's done all of the maths that are required, she's done all of the history. She started a full year before she would have been a freshman in public school. And so that is kind of, I mean, it's good and it's bad, because it's good because she's essentially done with all that she needs to do. But at the same time, because she's so young, she's not entirely sure what she wants to do next, which I totally get. So there's a lot of thinking to be done. I really need to sit down and start fleshing out some more of my ideas for next year. I already have a list in my planner of things that we're going to do next year, or that I'm hoping to do next year, but I'm definitely struggling a little bit the direction to go in math. Like, does she take college algebra? Does she take an accounting class? Can she take an accounting class? I think she has to take like a placement test or something in order to be able to take like business math or whatnot. I don't know. It's definitely a challenge, but she's doing great in math this year, so I'm really pleased about that. Spanish, she's also essentially finished with Spanish. We do Spanish through BJU Press, which I absolutely love. I love their foreign language and I love their science for high school. I think it is so helpful to have those, but it only goes up to Spanish 3. There is no Spanish 4, and I don't know if she wants to take college Spanish or if she just wants to take a year off. When I was in high school, I took 3 years of Spanish, and then my senior year, the Spanish teacher switched and I didn't want to take it with that particular teacher. I didn't want to take Spanish 4 with a new teacher. So I ended up taking French 1 my senior year, and then I took 2 years in college of Spanish. So I don't know if she wants to do that. She has been kind of toying with Japanese because Jack has been doing Japanese 1 this year and learning a ton. So I might do that. I'm not sure. So even though I'm saying day 91 for Spanish on Friday, even though it's our screen-free day, she will watch the video on Thursday for day 91, but do the work on Friday, if that makes any sense to you. Let's see. And then for chemistry, so chemistry, we're in chapter 11. I can find her book. And we have been working on conversions this past week. And so we are just kind of trying to go through a little bit more with these. She's supposed to have her chapter 11 test this week, but I think we're going to do a little bit more practice in chapter 11 So we are going to do review chemistry chapter 11. Honestly, what I'm doing is just going through all of the questions with her to make sure that she really has a firm understanding of the formulas so that when she has her test, she can do that. So we're not going to do the test this week. I'm going to wait until next week to do the test, I think. We won't have chemistry on Friday, and then Monday we'll do her review for chapter 11, I think. Okay, so let's see. English, history, math, Spanish, chemistry, science. What else is she going to be doing this week? I think that that's it, because she is spending a lot of time on her research paper right now. She does run every day. She reads for fun every day. She is working on her research paper. She's working on her book. So I think that is all I'm going to do. And then I say this in every video. I don't know if I've ever actually come back and shown you, but what I do when she does extra things, I will just write them down here. Sometimes our weeks bleed over to this column because we're towards the end of the 6-week session. She's almost where I want her to be with all of the subjects, so it's kind of lightens up, but because she's doing the research paper, that's also quite a bit of work. But I think that that is everything that I'm going to have her focus on. We're not going to do career this week, career and college stuff. I mean, we do chat about things every day, looking at colleges, looking at career ideas, working on her art and thinking about business ideas and all of that stuff. We've been going through this book, and we're just not going to do that this week. We might do some next week, we'll see. Okay, so for Lucy. So she has been reading Sophie Mouse. She has a whole set of those books, and that's what she has been reading, and so I'm going to let her continue to do that. I know that I've said this in many of my homeschool videos. So she read all of the books for Language Arts 3, which is what she's doing for Language Arts this year, and she's not quite ready for the level D books. She's doing level D history this year. So I have been just letting her pick books from the shelf. And then she got a bunch of Sophie Mouse books for Christmas, and she really enjoyed those, so she has continued reading those. She has started reading some of the books in the level 4 readers program from Sunlight, because we have like every single package of books from Sunlight except for level F all the way up to level 300. So we have a lot. I think she's going to start reading this book next week, Socks, but I'm going to let her continue reading Sophie Mouse this week because she is enjoying it. Language Arts, we are working on week 22 for Language Arts. I'm just going to put it on Monday and then continue throughout the week. For Singapore, she is working on multiplication tables, the 6s this week. The way that it goes, it's like you do the regular multiplication, like all your 6 times 2, 6 times 5, 6 times 7, all of that stuff, and then it moves into long multiplication, or 2 digits times 6, and then it does long division. So that's what we're going to be working on this week, just the 6s. What exercise is that? It's exercise 28. I put my box in the wrong spot. So Lucy has pretty much all of her school every day because her school does not take very long. It takes us maybe 2 hours in the morning to get through all of her school, and then she has the rest of the day to play and do other things. So that's kind of what we do. Cursive, she just does like 1 page a day or 1 page every other day. It just depends on the week how much other copy work she has. Then she has spelling UC. She is doing Liberty Kids for history this week. And then for science, she is doing kind of a unit on chickens. We have chickens. She has been watching these little videos from this YouTube channel called White House on the Hill. I will leave them linked in the description box, and they have a ton of birds, and it is really fun to watch them hatch all of these birds and like learn about the different breeds. They have just tons of different chickens. It's really interesting, but I will leave them linked in the description box. So we've been watching that and talking about our chickens. We may or may not process our chickens. They have slowed their laying down dramatically, and we are considering instead getting eggs to hatch in the spring, which we've not done before, and that is something that Lucy really wants to do. So we have been kind of watching videos about hatching chicks and trying to figure out if that is something that we can do or not. That is all I'm going to put for Lucy this week. Now we have Jack. Jack is finishing up the book, The Thief. One thing that I didn't write down on Emma's is all of her dailies. So each day the kids do World Watch, Wordly Wise, and narration, and it's written narration about either something that they've read, something that they've seen, that kind of thing. They do that every single day. On Wednesdays they don't do Wordly Wise and narration because it's Passion Projects Day, and then on Fridays they don't do current events because it's Screen Free Day. And then for history, so we are still in A History of Us, book 7. I'm hoping to finish this book next week and then move into book 9. We did book 8 last spring, which is why I'm skipping over book 8 for this course this year, because we did book 8 like in March, April last year. And then, so we're going to move into book 9, which is World War I and right up to World War II. And then I'm hoping to kind of do that simultaneously with the World War II book, the Uncle Eric book I talked about maybe in my homeschool update. I will leave that linked in the description box. I'm going to read World War II with Emma, and she's at World War II right now, or she's going to be at the start of our next 6-week session. And so I kind of want them to be together for that portion of history. I don't know, that's really not going to work now that I think about it, because book 9 is World War I and leading up to World War II. Well, maybe he will get a little bit of World War II in with World War I. Okay, we'll see. That's going to be an interesting experience. Okay, he is going to be working on his research paper. He has Japanese 1. He is almost done with all of his videos and lessons from this Japanese from Zero program. So he's going to finish that up by the end of this 6-week session, and then he's going to go back over the next 6-week session, or the next 2 6-week sessions, and review all of Japanese 1. Well, we'll see how long it takes him to go through all of that, to see if he will then just move right into book 2 or the second year of Japanese from Zero or not, or if we'll wait until we start new school in July. I'm kind of inclined to wait until July to start the new book, just because we will have a significant break once we finish school in May until we start again in July, but maybe that won't matter. I'm not sure. Let's see what he has for math. So he has a test this week too. All right, science. He's going through the book, Everything You Need to Ace Science in One Big Fat Notebook. So he does just a chapter each day. I'm not sure which chapters he's on because his book is upstairs. So I'm just going to fill that in after I do this. So he just does a chapter each day and answers the questions, and that seems to work really well. We're just trying to fill up the rest of his year for science. He did a lot of physical science in the fall. We finished all of that, all of those units that I wanted to do. So now I need to come up with something else. So that's what we were working on. Emma did this a few years ago as well. So I think it's a good book, and I think there's a lot of great information in there. Very helpful. I think I have almost all of those Big Fat Notebook books. They have a bunch for middle school. They have a bunch for high school as well. I got the biology one last year. I got the geometry one last year. I don't have the chemistry one, but I guess I could have probably gotten that. I got the English, science, US history, world history, all of those for the middle school. And then they do have like Algebra 1, pre-algebra, geometry. I don't know if they have an Algebra 2 one or not, but lots of helpful information. If you're looking for some good resources for a subject, you can pull quite a bit of information from those books. Okay, so we have English, history, foreign language, math, science. Is that everything? I think that is everything for him. And then this is typically our family column, but I don't have anything right now for our family column because I'm not doing any Brave Writer with Jack and Emma this week, and I'm just kind of trying to get through where I want us to be for the end of this 6-week term. Okay, so this is my week at a glance. It's not too busy this week. We don't have anything going on outside of the house for appointments or whatnot. So, and like I said, we're just trying to finish up our 6-week session where I want us to be before we have that week off. So I'm actually feeling really good about this. It's not super fancy, but it is, it does work great for me. I am really looking forward to seeing when the new planners come out. If they release a homeschool planner, Erin Condren releases a homeschool planner at the same time as they release their teacher planners. I'm crossing my fingers that they will. I'm also crossing my fingers that they have a dated homeschool planner this year instead of an undated. We will see what happens, but this is my week. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have questions about anything that I talked about, definitely let me know in the comments, or you can email me. My contact form is always in the description box. I will also leave my curriculum choice playlist in the description box so that you can see, if you're curious about what we're using this year and you haven't been following along with my Plan With Me's, you can see that as well. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.